Hi guys, welcome to the next tutorial in Adobe Illustrator. So we are going to be learning how to use the pen tool and also how to apply some effects from our appearance panel. So what I would like you to do is make sure that you have both layers locked, your face and your head. If you do want to move them, you can unlock them. And using your selection arrow, just make sure you draw a marquee over everything and you'll notice they become selected. Another way to do this is over in your layers panel, hold shift and you can select both layers. So if you did want to move that somewhere around your paper, you could do that. So making sure they're both locked, we are going to create a new layer. And we're going to make sure this layer is on the bottom of our layers panel. The way layers work is you can stack them, so depending on where you put your layers, that whatever is on top will appear that way. So if I drag the head layer in front of the face, you can't see the mouth. So we want to make sure that we are paying attention to the stacking order of our layers. You're going to double click layer 3 and we're going to rename this body, and we're going to go over to our pen tool. This is the letter P if you would like to use keyboard shortcuts, and I'm going to make sure that I have the right fill and stroke that I would like. So I'm just going to change the fill to be a little bit of a different color. And what I would like you to do is, when you with the pen tool, we are plotting anchor points. So as you click, you'll notice that you start to draw. And because I have a fill, it is automatically filling in that space as I draw. When you put your mouse over top of your original point, you'll notice that the icon turns to a circle. And what this means is that you're drawing a closed path. So this is what we want to do when using the pen tool. We want to be drawing closed shapes. And so now here you can see I've drawn this octagon. And again, just like before, I can scale it, make it bigger or smaller. If I choose my direct selection arrow, you'll notice that it gives me control over the actual anchor points that I just created. So if I click on them, they show that they are selected when they are filled in. So if I click on this one here on the corner, you'll notice I can now move that and have some control over what my shape looks like. So we're going to delete this shape because I want to start drawing using the pen tool to create curved lines. To do this, what we're going to do is just start with a basic point. So just start by clicking once, and if I move my pen tool over and then I click and drag, I get these handles that I now can control sort of the curvature of the line. So you can draw sort of more organic shapes and have a little bit more control over what you're actually drawing. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a little oval here, making sure that I'm drawing a closed shape. And again, if you want to go back to your direct selection tool, you can click then on these handles and come back in and re-edit sort of how things look and what you have going on here. So I have this sort of oval shape that I've drawn with my pen tool. And depending on what you want yours to look like, you can have a little bit more creative control over what you're doing. So that is our pen tool. And we just still have a basic sort of stroke and fill on our shape. We also can apply effects to our work. So from your appearance panel, you'll notice at the bottom you have the letter FX, and depending on what you're clicked on, this is important, the fill or the stroke. you will be applying the effect to that. So I want to make sure I'm applying the effect to the fill. So I'm going to go into here and I'm going to add some texture. And maybe we will do some, let's try the texturizer. And what this will do will open up another panel here for you. And this is just showing if you want to zoom out to see what you're working on. I'd like to try just playing around with some different effects that you have. These are a lot similar to Photoshop if anybody has worked in Photoshop. So maybe just a mosaic, and then again here on the side you can change how many you have, the thickness, and the intensity is what's happening. So I'm going to go ahead and say OK, and you'll see that I've applied this effect to my fill. So those are the two things in this tutorial: drawing with the pen tool and also drawing shapes and then adding effects.